on, let's go really all. I'ma put you in the dirt. Come on, let's go really all. Yeah, come on, let's go really all. I'ma hit the dirt. Come on, let's go really all. Yeah, come on, let's go really all. I'ma put you in the dirt. Come on, let's go really all. Yeah, come on, let's go really all. I'ma hit the dirt. Come on, let's go really all. Cause I just wanna hit the bar, I just wanna be the best, I just wanna get all. I ain't never trusted anybody else in my love. Girl, got 0 to 100, you don't better blow. Can't see the you better hide your fucking face. He's a motherfucker. Yo, come on, let's go really up. Down chillin' with the homies, I don't really go. Got a bad chicken in me, what the f*** going up? Better bring her up, while you looking like a stab. Put you in a car fight, like, better get the f*** up. But another round, cause we getting f***ed up. I'ma put you in the dirt, bitch, I ain't gonna find you a bad luck. Go on, nigga, come on, let's go really hard. Yo, come on, let's go really hard. I'ma put you in the dirt, come on, let's go really hard. Yo, come on, let's go really hard. I'ma hit the dirt, come on, let's go really hard. Yo, come on, let's go really hard. I'ma put you in the dirt, come on, let's go really hard. Yo, come on, let's go really hard. I'ma hit the dirt, come on, let's go really hard. Cause I just wanna hit the bar, I just wanna be the best, I just wanna get all. I ain't never trusted anybody else in my life.
Hello, everybody. Give us a few extra minutes so we can make sure everything is up and going. Of course, you have your fancy jazz here, and we have
Also Blanco from Also Talks. Now with our new show, we're just roommates. Believe it or not.
We're just roommates. That's literally what this show's about. This is just pretty much like a de-stressor situation for us because just to give us a little more insight and a little background is that we used to date a billion years ago. And we lived together, then we separated, we broke up, and we're still like best friends. And that becomes issues sometimes. It becomes issues.
Mainly on my end more.
Yeah, men don't care. That's why.
Yeah, that's the rule.
Men don't care. They're like, you have a man living at your house, you're fine, baby.
Like it's usually at the initial. Oh yeah, sure, okay. Then might be an issue later on. But usually when I would used to try to start even talking to anybody, like when it came down to the living situation, we had a
Oh,
yeah,
oh.
so, yeah.
Every woman I think that you talk to beforehand.
Gets to that point. When, oh yeah, everything's going. Then we're like, oh, oh. And then all right, that's it.
Yeah. So we're gonna get into that and that journey. That's pretty much what the show is about. To kind of give everybody who's actually just friends and just roommates and just chill peoples that had to suffer through friends, potential relationships, and just life being weirded out just for you living your life, especially in this fucking economy. Um, so with that being said, we're gonna go into full introductions real quick for people who don't actually know who we are, which is would be surprising, but nah. So introduce yourself first, and I'll introduce myself.
All right. So outside of this particular show, I have my own Also Talks pod. Mondays at 8. Usually, sometimes gets pushed. Pretty much anime, movies, TV shows. Pretty much anything that I can pretty much think of. Um, we'll be back on that one this coming Monday. Will be the first show of the year. Also doing this show. Open to do. I'm open to do any other shows as well. But for right now, just dipping my foot into this streaming business and see what happens. Hopefully, I can make a splash.
Yeah, a splash, a little haul, if you would. Yeah,
do a little magic carp splash.
A little magic carp. No, beats are just Gyarados. We love that. So I think just to go out, and I just want to introduce before I introduce myself, is like I truly love that you are dipping your foot into podcasting and streaming. I fell in love with it recently. I always wanted to do radio back in the day, but
Right, and it's funny because
I like doing this, and I stream video games, so like it makes sense.
Right, like, and especially like for me, like if anybody that like if any of my family members are actually watching this, for me to actually be on here and actually being like, I guess you would say normal.
Normal.
Because I'm really introverted, so for me to be doing something like this, it's a big thing, especially for me. So, and I've actually gotten some feedback from people who have seen, the Also Talks pod. But I'm actually pretty decent at doing this.
It's your passion.
Yeah, and like, because everybody knows me, like I'm a big
Nerd.
big
Nerd.
Star Trek nerd, sci-fi nerd.
Yeah.
So you get me going on anything Star Trek, Star Wars, and
Hmm.
I won't shut the hell up.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
going day by day and show by show.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can do more.
Yeah. Well, for me, guys, just introduce me, I guess, again. I am your lovely fancy fetish lady from Unicorn Straight No Chaser. Um, cool with the people at HNIC who actually I want to give tip my hats and roses to of helping me dip my first, touches into podcasting and being guest and all that. Love it. We have a show. We used to have a show with them, Nymphs of Lore, which is a spicy book podcast or book podcast that we're going to be starting up again on this upcoming Friday. So look out for that. I'll put the links everywhere later on. Um, but yeah, they really got me and my toes into it. I've always been somebody into the fetish realm of sexual education, all that, which we have another show, which is going to be premiering the second season tonight at 8:30 p.m. So catch us on there with my lovely co-host, Mrs. D. We talk about Sexually Speaking, which is the name of their show. And we discuss all the fancy stuff that goes into that fetishism, lifestyle breakdowns, just the kinky conversations to, let you guys know you're not alone, especially focus on POC individuals. Black and brown people, we are not really represented in a lot of these situations. So we try to give you that open and free space. But again, my name is Giselle, Miss Jazz, if you're cool with me. And that's pretty much it. But what are we going to do? We're going to talk a little bit about our background together, why we're making this show. And also, we want to get into some relationship questions because I feel like the me thing with Oso is that we disagree but agree respectfully, if that makes sense, about many things. And I feel like that's going to be a good base because we also want to get other people in the conversation about it. So,
Well, right, but it's what it basically just comes down to, like, because you always get the questions, oh, how could you live with somebody that's female, and
yeah,
it's just basic,
we're people.
mutual respectability towards each other. Like,
Yeah,
it's common sense things. Like, if
yeah,
you just show respect for someone and what they're doing, and
hmm,
show respect for the living space and situations,
yeah.
it's really not
No
that
cock
hard.
blocking to
Like,
anybody,
yeah, it's not
but
that hard.
respectful. Yeah. One thing I would say, it really isn't. I think that was one of the things I used to feel bad for you when you were like, yeah, I like this girl. And you're like, yeah, I want to, invite her out to dinner or something. And he's like, yes, I have a roommate. And they're like, cool, you have a roommate, no problem. They're like, yeah, she's a female. What? She's a
Yeah,
woman.
you have
What?
to. Oh,
Oh. And then it goes into those conversations. Even if they don't say anything, the first thing that happens is like, oh, I bet they fucking.
yeah,
And I hate that because I'm like, no,
but
like there's good people out in the world, guys,
right.
that don't get me wrong. As a woman, I get it too, because if I've dated men or was like on dates with men and they'll be like, oh yeah, I totally live with my baby mama, I totally, we're just cool with this. And to be fair, if you're not into it, if you're not safe with that, I get it.
Right. It's all
I get it, but conversation. But if you really like the person and they
right.
don't give
There
you
would be like
reason
an
to,
effort towards it,
yeah,
just on. All right, what's the
hmm,
validity? At the very least, okay, what's the validity of it? Let me
yeah,
one day we go over there and see how they interact or how the
yeah.
situation is.
If you invite a woman over and I'm downstairs throwing titty tassels everywhere, I would
Right.
expect that woman not to ever show up again. I
Right.
get
That'd be
that,
an
but
issue,
then,
but then that plays into
mhm,
the whole just communication and
mhm,
mutual respect of the living area and everything
yeah,
like that.
that's it, and that's what we do. It's one of those situations. Like it's weird though. Like when I've been on date with men, they're like, "Oh, that's cool. Don't worry, baby. I'll get you out of that house one day." I'm like, "Yeah, okay."
Right. Like,
And they don't even last 2 dates.
it is.
Like, or
Okay.
actually, the phone conversations.
It's
If
just I don't know.
I don't know, I think I do feel because I have been burnt before with potential partners, and they were like, "Yeah, no, I'm totally cool with this female in my life." And we're saying females not as disrespectful or to make it look like we're belittling women in any form or
It's just
fashion. But
broad.
those are the conversation. That's what men or individuals say or think. They're like, "How
Right.
could you live with a female? How could you live with a woman?" It's not that big a deal,
Right, because I
people.
think people really don't understand too on like just using that phrase. Oh,
Yeah,
you have to live with a female. Okay,
yeah,
that's a roommate. That's what living
Yeah.
with another person is. Or okay, there's such thing as a friend that's a girl.
Yeah.
Like
We homies. Literally
so,
homies.
like yeah. But I don't think people have really been accustomed to actually be used to that terminology or just in general that's kind of situation.
Yeah. Like I feel like it's still new. It's still a new situation because don't get me wrong. A lot of people are untrustworthy. A lot of people do cheat. And sorry, guys, if you hear anything, we have my nephew over and he's living his best life. So it's going to happen sometimes, and that's perfectly fine. We love
Right,
him. Jay is the man. We love him. He's just living his best life on the second floor. So, anywho, let's get back to what we're talking about.
right.
Uh, when in doubt, question your partner. You never feel issues to discuss anything that makes you feel uncomfortable, but also don't throw away a chance at happiness just because you think you can't trust someone. But it's also your journey in life. I've done it. I've done like I don't date men that have children. I think it's stupid. For me, again, for everybody else that might be hot topic, because I think I got in arguments a few times about this.
A few.
A few, shush. I argue a lot apparently,
Yeah, half the times I
but
come down and go to work, but like, yeah, I was on this thread online because people started with
it's like, let me tell you
this.
about what this bitch said.
Yeah,
This random Sarah 1 2 3 4 5 X XOXO whatever bitch. But
and it's everybody has their
they have their own
opinions,
opinion.
so
But I feel like a lot of it's rooted in fear and misogyny on our own. Like, so when we dated, of course, like we met each other's families, and like my relative was like, "What? How can you live with him if you're not in a relationship?" I was like, "Cause he's my friend." It's old school
right.
mentality.
It's not.
They're just like, "I don't. That can't happen. That just didn't materialize." Like, no, it does.
It's
We're in a world where everything is expensive. Hi, buddy. Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry, my nephew. It was telling me about his show, and he's in love with it, and we're so excited about that
yeah.
for him. And like I said, this is not going to be always on the show. This is actually a special episode, by the way. We are on every
We're supposed to be
Saturday.
on Saturdays. Yesterday we had a
A
lot
lot.
going on, and we kept
Yes.
try- we if you kept up with the flyers, went from 8 to 8:30
It's
to 9,
9. It's
and
nine
then we
o'clock.
was like, you know what,
Tomorrow, 6.
tomorrow we're gonna do it at 6.
6 p.m.
So it's gonna be on Saturdays, every other Saturday,
Every other Saturday for a live episode
and
and a
replays
recorded
on
replays
in the
every
replays.
following. Yeah.
Yeah. So
So, meh, meh.
yeah,
Meh. It
it's
happens.
life.
This is life,
Shit
guys.
happens.
That's also part of our show. We're real talk, real life. We're not here to sugarcoat it. It's going to be just our personal experience. We had different experiences. We love that for you. We love that experience with us. Tell us how we're wrong. I love a good debate. I love when people tell me I'm wrong, but you need proof because I'm just going to argue with you.
Right.
Correct? I
Yeah.
will argue with you until one of us is completely right.
Or until she gets tired and she goes to sleep.
Oh yeah, or I just like because I'm not a bitch that deletes people, and I'm definitely not a bitch that blocks people.
Right.
You gonna get this conversation, and if you block or delete me for your peace of mind, bitch, you could just couldn't keep up. It's okay. I don't care.
That reminds me of Sheldon versus
Sheldon versus
uh
oh Big Bang Theory.
yeah, Big Bang Theory. Sheldon, it was against what's his name, the comic book store owner,
Stuart.
Stewart.
Yeah.
When they were talking about who should take on the mantle of Batman,
Mm-hmm.
and when Batman got killed or he was incapacitated,
Mm-hmm.
and at the end of the whole smorgasbord, they were like,
Yeah.
"Okay, well, I'm gonna go." But like, "Oh, so you give up? So I'm right."
Yeah.
They're like, "Nah, I'm just gonna leave. I'm tired." They're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, so I win."
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
It's the tism. It's the tism.
yeah, that's basically how
Mhm.
okay, if you give up or you want to just leave and go home, okay, well, I
Yeah.
was right.
I'm good with breaks though in the middle conversation. I'm like, I'm in the middle of work, bitch. I will talk to you later. And then, we'll continue the conversation. Because again, I love education and I love the fact that the world is so big and people have different experiences. I'm down to have those conversations to enlighten myself. As much as people like to say that I'm too spicy and I argue and whatever, it's not ever a situation where I think I'm always right. I don't think I'm always right. I only speak on things I know I'm right about. So more than likely, we're having a conversation and we're actually arguing. I know and I've done the research or experience or whatever the hell what the fuck we're talking about. So it's not a thing. But if you're like, hey, yo, that's wrong, and I'm like, prove it. You need to tell me so I can educate myself, so I
Right.
can be on your level. You know what I mean? I get that
Well,
bit of knowledge.
well, that's the issues too nowadays. Is that just a lot of people are clickbait into things,
Oh yeah,
or they just okay, I don't, or they just peer pressure, or they just follow the trends. And, okay, I don't like this person, or I don't like what this stands for. Well, okay, well, why?
yeah,
How are you connecting to it?
yeah.
And then they'll sit there like, okay, if you don't know enough about a subject, then you really shouldn't have an opinion on the subject.
No, exactly. If
That's
you the
what it
only
comes down to.
information you have is I read one book, or
Right.
I my daddy or my mommy taught me
Or
this,
somebody
or their
told me
church
this,
told
or
me this.
somebody this was okay.
Where's
You
your
know,
sources?
figure it out. Like, okay,
I don't know. But then again, we're Puerto Rican and we also like to argue.
oh, that's in the blood.
Yeah, and it's just what we do. But with that being said, that's
But
a little
that,
interesting
but
who we
that is
are.
justified too. Because some days I'm in a good mood. I'll be going to work. I'm in
Uh
a
huh.
good mood, and I just get to work, and then
Yeah.
then you got to make that decision where okay,
Yeah.
am I going to make them cry, or am I just walk
You
away?
know the grace that we have to have, because you're a very chill person and I'm also very a chill person.
Oh, but we're
Oh, give me
cutthroat.
1 second, guys. Sorry, he's really excited, my nephew.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
he
think he's
was.
watching his favorite show
Yeah,
or something on the tablet.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
No, but
yeah,
like,
it's
yeah,
fine. It's
we'll
life.
literally, yeah, like
We'll
if you
argue.
meet me like in real life, I'm
Chill as hell.
probably won't even say two words because, like I said before, so
Introvert.
introverted that
Hmm.
like until like unless there's liquor involved
Yeah.
and you get that little bit of liquid courage,
Oh
I'm
yeah.
probably gonna be sitting in the corner just playing a game on my phone like a little kid.
Yeah.
But once I
No.
get comfortable around, yeah, I
Well, I think
got
that's one of the things. One of
gotta
my
help y'all.
exes, he's still a very good friend of mine. He spent one night when he was my boyfriend. He spent the night over, and we were joking about also about like he's just so fucking chill. You could tell him the worst news that he's just smoking on his hookah, and he's just like, "That's crazy. What do we need to do?" And I'm just like, "Are you not freaking out? Like, what's
I
going
mean,
on?"
but
So you're just so chill.
that's just honestly the
Me,
upbringing
yeah,
because just the background that I have four brothers and two sisters, uh, single parent home. So, I'm from Camden. So
mm-hmm.
the struggle of the struggle.
I'm
Basically, like when
trouble.
I try to tell people, like, oh well, people try to compare their childhoods and stuff. Okay, we had this and we had to struggle for this,
Mm-hmm.
bruh. If I tell y'all that we had to go through when we was little, like
Mm-hmm.
y'all will feel so fucking bad for me. But then
Yeah,
again, like you gotta take shit in stride.
yeah.
Like
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
pretty much, like I've been through enough shit. Like okay, I
Mm-hmm.
had a situation earlier, uh, which I'll get into someday. But like
Okay.
I'm like it's whatever. Like unless it comes to the point where I'm actually in physical danger,
Mm-hmm.
then you're not gonna get a reaction out of me.
Yeah.
Like and that's for anybody around me, and
Mm-hmm.
and I get that a lot that I'm kind of stoic in that situation,
Yeah.
but I'm no fun because like I'll be
I
introverted and
have
I'll
something
sit
to
in the
say about
corner,
that. Yeah.
and but especially like when I'm in a group, like
Mhm.
when I used to go out with my sisters and my friend Albert,
Yeah.
I'm the little big brother.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm in the corner, and anybody that I'm around with, related or not, especially if you're a female, if you go
Mhm.
out in a group with me, the way I was raised and the way I believe, as the man in the group, I'm
No.
responsible for everybody's safety.
Yep. It's
So
a good quality of Latin men. I will say that, even though I don't date most of y'all.
right, but you get that. I've been in situations where,
Hmm.
well, I wasn't there personally, but somebody else was there with females that I knew, and there was altercations where they did not step up,
Yeah.
and that like I was, and not that I'm
Josh.
okay with violence or nothing like that unless
Hmm.
absolutely necessary. Hold on.
Okay.
Like it would get to the point where in that one of the particular situations where I actually had to show up to intervene,
Hmm.
I almost felt where I had to put hands on the guy
Yeah.
because of his lack of
Stepping up.
manhood, basically.
Yeah.
Like you can't if you're out with a
Well,
group of women, you
I don't think it's just a manhood. I think it's a chivalry situation or the pride, right? Because I think we have this discussion a lot, especially when it comes to that whole thing. Like you're a provider, you're the man, you're the woman in the relationship. Even though it's not to me, it's not when we discuss it. It's not just about a gender situation. It's about the mentality of like being protector,
right.
being that person who's in the one supposed to be protecting everybody, and that could be financially, that could be mentally, physically, whatever. Um,
Because it's in both genders. You have the
Yeah, in
same.
both genders, you have the
You have the
responsibility.
alphas, you have the betas, you have the
Yeah,
sigmas, you have the
yeah. But
if that's one of my niches is you're
yeah,
pretending to be the big bad, you're the big alpha,
yeah.
you can do
Which
this, you do
doesn't
that.
mean masculinity doesn't also fall into just being big and bad.
Right, and
It
but
goes into
that's
taking care of business that needs to be done without a not a second thought, without hesitation.
right, but that's where a lot of the people
They don't get it. Yeah.
they don't get okay. Oh yeah, I'm big time for this. I'm big time. Okay, but in situations where honestly, I've been in situations where all I've had to do was stand up, and the situation gets resolved.
You're so scary. Hmm.
Just from my tone,
Yeah,
and but you'll have people that won't even stand up, but you're supposed
yeah,
to be the alpha.
yeah. Well, but I think that's the situation. I think people don't really know. And again, not to just put that there's a conversation about alpha and stuff like that. It's just like being the person that needs to get shit done. Especially like for me, I'm the oldest sister of six children of siblings, excuse me. Um, and since I didn't have any older brothers, it's just me. I'm the oldest.
Right,
So I had to take that mantle of making sure, and if you know anything about the culture, or just being a woman or a young girl in a big family, your responsibility is to cook, clean, and take care of things, especially in our culture. They teach us that from a young age. So I'm already doing that. I'm taking care of kids. I'm taking care of cooking. I've been working since I was like 13 years old. Like that's another reason why I just don't let nobody argue with me. Because I was like, first of all, I've been paying my own bills. I don't need you to, but I'm going to take care of it.
right,
But just to put that in a situation where I'm trying to make a point of taking charge, right? I don't want to be, if you know me, I'm a fucking gummy bear. I just want to be sweet and calm all the time and ditzy and fun. But if there's shit that needs to be done, and if you guys know me in real life, which many of you do, is when shit needs to get done, taken care of, always step up
right. But
because
that's
I don't have time for people to that I don't fuck with that
right, but
like
that's more in a
group
almost an
setting.
in-house
Well,
situation
no, but that's
or
what I'm
like an
saying.
inward situation
Yeah,
versus more of an outside situation where okay, because you could be a great team leader at work,
yeah.
you could be a great parent, you could be a great,
Well,
but then if you can't extend that personification, that person, that attitude,
yeah,
that aura
mentality. Okay, the energy. Yeah, 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 yeah.
to the point where okay, if even to now, I like I said, I'm very introverted, so I'm the same way. Like I don't like to be in the middle of shit, but
I love the drama, but I don't want to be a part of it.
right, I don't want
Yeah,
to be a
yeah.
part of
Tell
it.
me
But just
everything. I'll
okay, but
never
if
say
I
anything.
see if I'm in the group and
Hmm.
somebody's getting out of line, especially towards a woman, okay, if nobody else is stepping in, I have to step in. I
Yeah.
feel I have to step in.
Because see, that's the thing. So who? Okay, so let's say hypothetically, me and you are in the same room together, and we're at a bar, and there is somebody being harassed. Let's say it's just a woman for the conversation. She's being harassed by some weird guy. Who do you think is going to step up first, me or you?
Honestly, it'd be a cross up.
Yeah,
But
no.
honestly, it will really depend. For me, it will really depend on the kind of harassment.
Okay, so
But if it's
mhm,
verbal, but if
okay,
it's a vulgar verbal kind of thing, okay,
yeah,
I will still jump in,
yeah,
but it would be like a different reaction. Like
yeah,
I would literally just go in and just start cracking jokes at them
yeah, yeah, yeah,
just to
yeah,
make them feel the same what they're trying to the
yeah.
person feel.
See,
Versus okay,
very man.
if it's a guy that comes in and
Hmm.
grips a woman's arm before she even gets
Hmm.
off the stool, I'm already there punching him in the face.
That makes
Honestly
sense.
speak.
Well, here's the thing. So that's what you said because I knew you were going to say something like that. Because the way I would do it, because women, this is what women do a lot. At least if you're a girl's girl, if I notice somebody's being harassed, but I don't know, right? What if it's something that maybe they're just being awkward? Maybe the guy's just really bad at jokes. It
Right.
happens, right? Some
Right. So
people are
you
awkward,
like it's
so you
one of
have
those
to
things
gauge
where you
it.
have to
I
eh,
would force myself either between them or next to her,
yeah, so you could
and
just
I'm like, "Oh my god, girl, I love your dress. Oh my god, girl, you need help. Do you need help? Like, what's going on? Because
well
I can fight him right now."
well
Yeah,
that goes
like
in the difference of approaches. Like mine will be more of
no, but that's what I'm
mine
saying.
was more of an aggressive.
No, but you
like
would see.
stance
No,
versus
that's
you were
exact.
more passive aggressive.
No, it's not passive aggressive. It's cunning
Well, yeah,
because
well,
we
no, it's
have to
like more
gauge it
okay. Let me get
first.
in
Yeah,
and okay, let me see if I can just
recon,
slide
if you
out real
will.
quick.
Undercover.
But yeah, more
And I'm like,
like.
oh my god, sis, I love that.
But
Or
then
see her go to the bathroom. Yeah,
that goes like
Mhm.
mentality too. Like
Yeah. Well,
if
I think
it's
it's
if it's a guy with a girl thing,
yeah,
okay, 9 out of 10 times when another guy steps into the middle of it, okay, they're gonna back off.
yeah. That makes sense. Well, that's the thing too, because and that's another good point. Because a man steps up, the other men back down.
Right,
But women's up, they're like, nah, she's totally fine. I'm like,
right. They're not gonna take it
no.
that serious until
And
it
so, man,
escalates.
yeah, unfortunately. Well, I
Well, even in that,
think,
like it will just escalate into a bigger argument. Okay,
yeah,
then somebody else is gonna step in. So,
okay. Well, I think those are good, like good points for rehab. Um, I don't know. So that's pretty much it. But I think when it comes to those situations, everybody has their role, and they come in different waves. But never be with somebody that's not like even as friends. If I see friends and I'm with a group of friends and I don't see, and I don't know, maybe this is a little sticky situation I'm saying, but I'm going to say it anyway is if I'm with a group of people and it's mixed men, women, whoever, if I don't see, especially a man I'm dating or a man I'm interested or like a man who is in the group and they're just like, yeah, I take care of everybody, bop, 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 bop. But then when the situation happens, they don't say anything, you're done. I'm not
right,
talking
don't
to you.
yeah,
I
don't
can't, you can't, because I'm here to protect everybody when it needs to get done. If my other people aren't on the same mindset, I don't want to deal with it.
right. That comes to the well again to like the mindset, like
Hmm.
especially me. Like I've been in the situation where okay,
Hmm.
I'm honestly I don't have a lot of friends. I'll be the first to say it. I have a lot of
Because you're too chill,
associates,
bro.
but the kind of friends that I do have, we
Hmm.
all have the same mentality.
Yeah.
So like one of my, I'm not gonna put his name out there yet, but if he wants to be a sponsor of the show, I'll gladly sponsor his business. Just put
Yeah,
a
I don't know who
flyer
this
up.
is, but yeah, do that. Woo.
But he's a great guy. Like man,
Oh, I know you're talking about,
we
yeah.
don't talk a lot, but
But
when we
friends
do
don't have to talk a
talk,
lot.
like we go 2 3 years without talking, and we next day we meet up
That's
and
how my homie
it
is.
picks up like right from when we left
I
off.
miss
He's
you,
a great
girl. I miss
guy.
you, Micah.
Like when I was down, like he would literally like take me out
Yeah.
and I wouldn't have to worry about anything. And he knew when I had it, he didn't have to worry
But
about anything.
I feel that's good
That's
friendship. Yeah.
friendship.
That's friendship.
Because I've
Because,
seen shit where okay, the one has it, and I just can't understand that mentality that if I'm calling you my friend and we're calling each other friends, and we go out,
and you
and
ain't
you
trying
know
to
I'm
take,
short, you're not
yeah.
gonna help me.
Yeah. Well, it depends. So I think
Like
it's different because if we're gonna get into a diet, like a food situation or just anything, the one thing I like about my group of girlies is that we're very transparent. That no matter what, just tell us ahead of time. A lot of people
right, like
don't,
that's the thing. But it goes
but a
like,
friend should never.
but the guy rule.
The guy rule. Okay.
Even growing up, if you invite, you pay me.
Oh yeah, if you invite, you pay.
So if you invite me and I'm saying like, yo, I can't go. I
Hmm.
don't have the money for it, I got shit going on or whatever. And you said that, okay, I got you. Cool. You
Yeah.
got me. I'll pay you back when I can. But it's another thing like, oh no, 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 just come anyway, then I'm just stuck while everybody else is buying
Yeah.
drinks and buying that. I'm
Yeah.
gonna feel out of place.
Yeah.
Like if don't force me into a situation where I'm not gonna feel comfortable.
No, I agree.
Just to have me there to say, oh yeah, that's my buddy.
You know
Nah.
what? You know what gets me though is that like I've experiences, and you were there when I was experiencing these situations in my life, where I'm a big person where like if I got it, we all got it. We're
Right.
gonna be taken care of. We're gonna do all that shit. However, I've never thrown it back in people's faces.
No, no, I
I've never
completely
done that.
agree.
Yeah, I think once anything gift related, right? Like you're treating someone, you never say, "Oh, well, that bitch is broke as fuck because I had to buy her a drink."
No,
Nah, you would never say that because we are all in that situation at one point in time. And if you're not now, if never have been in a few
I
years,
hope you never
I
are.
love that. That's beautiful. We love that.
But to sit there and throw something,
Back in a gesture, a kind gesture that you implied, you invited a person, and then be like, "That's how you broke and you got to share a meal." Like, bitch,
and I'll be
what?
the first one to point out, damn, so you only like to do things for people so you can have that superiority feeling over them.
Yeah. Now you just want
So
brownie points with Jesus. Get the
that's
fuck out
all
of
it's
here.
like. So you never actually did this for me. You did this for yourself.
Exactly. No,
So what
exactly.
kind of friend are you? If you're a
Exactly.
friend,
And yeah, once I get that thing, I'm done.
yeah,
Because
like
that's one thing I
that's
would
people you have to
say.
cut off because they're not. They're just
Yeah.
there to make themselves feel better and not. Like I said, like there's maybe 4
Hmm.
people that I can literally call. I'm like, yo, I need help with something, and they'll offer what they can.
Yeah.
Anybody else, if they even pick up the phone, it'd be a miracle, fucking miracle.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I mean, it all and that depends on the person too. Like you have to be aware of the kind of people that you have around yourself. It's like the
definitely.
thing that DMX said on in one of the interviews with Noriega.
No.
But like, trust the snake for the snake.
Oh yeah.
But like, don't judge nobody. Don't okay. If you're gonna have snakes around you, just
Recognize what they
remember
are.
that that snake is gonna bite you. Don't be mad at the snake for biting you. Be mad at yourself for forgetting that you have a snake around you.
But you know what's crazy though, because which I agree with. You should never, if somebody shows you who they are, and you're still around them, not to be that blame person, but like you can't be surprised.
Yeah, if
You
that's
cannot.
if
I've been bitten a few times. I'm like, you know what? Jokes on me. The eggs on my face.
yeah,
I fucked up.
I
I knew
can't get
what you
mad
were
at you
about
for you
being you.
doing what you thought was best for you.
Exactly.
I
Exactly.
knew the kind of person you are. I knew you was gonna do it, but I still allowed you to be around.
Yeah.
So you can't be mad at the snake for being a snake.
Yeah. You just got to be like, peace out, Girl
You know,
Scout.
it's like, all right, you
No,
got
I
me.
get you.
Like,
Fuck out of here. No, I get you. That's why I have zero bullshit. One thing I say like about my girls, like we don't see each other all the time, but when we do, it's on site. Like good wise, like I remember like having conversations to them, and they'll be like, "Nah, Jazz, you're wrong," and I'm like, no, I'm not. And they're like, you know what? If you're telling me this, you might be correct
right, because there's
because
credibility with
there's
some of the
credibility
people.
with people, but also I believe as well, um, your enemies are always going to be the honest with you. The snakes in the grass are the ones that are not. So the ones who are fake around you, like if you know me as well, I have a big issue with people talking shit. Like let's say if me and also are having a beef, and I go talk to another friend about it, I'm venting, right? But after you vent, you have to talk. I have to talk to Jose. I have to talk to Oso. I have to talk to him about it because then it's talking shit.
Right.
You're not getting anything done. And unfortunately, I've experienced with a lot of friend groups that, they would come to me or I would come to them about how I'm feeling, how I feel some type of way. And of course, with always the gear in mind to talk to the person if it gets to a level where I'm like, you know what, maybe I'm not crazy or maybe it is a situation and getting played about it. The enemy is always going to be the enemy. Or again, the snake is always going to be a snake. Once you know who they are, I trust those people more than I
Well, that,
trust people who don't want to be themselves or scared.
like in situations like that, I always go back to a rule. Honestly speaking, if you're going to say something
Hmm.
to anyone that you can't tell that person to their face,
Hmm.
then you shouldn't be saying it.
True.
Just honestly, if you just go by that, you're fine.
Yeah.
Because if I wanted to vent to somebody else and say, "Oh, well, this person's da da da," if I'm not comfortable saying that to that person's face,
Hmm.
then I don't need to be saying it.
Nah, I
Because
want all the smoke.
what it comes down to that on that is accountability.
Oh yeah, accountability.
Because then you're showing your true color. Like, okay, if because everybody knows,
Hmm.
anybody that I work with, anybody I hang out with, you know where you stand with me. I'll be the first one to tell you, no, you're wrong for this or you're wrong for that.
Hmm.
But you know, it's
No, you're
just
right.
accountability.
It
Like,
is accountability. So,
what was that? It was a quote that I heard not too long ago. It was be the person that you would want to be in a room with if you were a kid.
oh yeah, I like that one. I like that one. That's why, yeah.
Like, if you have something like a mindset like that,
Hmm.
then you'll see how much less drama you have in your life, how much just carefree attitude you have. Like, if you're okay with yourself, or if you're okay with the way you act, even if you don't have to be a goody two shoes, you don't have to be,
You can still
you
be
know,
yourself, yeah. Because nobody's
nobody's
perfect.
perfect. No, don't believe what you see. Fact check everything yourself. Because honestly, in my life, I've met more people that have had tattoos, that wore leather, that drove motorcycles, that were fucking saints, and people that went to church every weekend, every event, and they're freaking snakes.
I agree. Well, this is a good introduction, and these are some of the topics we're going to be talking about. So, you guys have anything that you would like for us to discuss? We're actually going to start going to Reddit posts real quick and kind of discuss these things. I only picked two. I think in our next live episode, we're going to probably put a little bit more after some research. But from this first one, Jose, we're going to talk about this. It is Am I the Asshole in a Relationship thread? And this one titled Boyfriend Hung Out with His Ex Without Telling Me. So I'm going to go through the story and just bear with me. It says, My boyfriend of over a year, 42 male, has known his ex since they were 20. They broke up 10 years ago but remained friends. I always knew that they were friends, but she lives in a different town and only comes to visit a few times a year. But every time she does, he makes it a point to see her. The last time I got upset because he didn't tell me. This time, he didn't tell me that he saw her and they spent the day together until I saw a text on his phone and asked him directly. He claims that it was meaningless and that he didn't tell me because he knew it would get upset. That it would get upset and there would be no point in it. I asked why he didn't tell me, uh, let me meet her, and he says I can, but it's obvious only once I get upset. He could have told me or introduced me at any time, any other time. He claimed he loves me and I'm his world and he doesn't want me to get upset with his actions, but his actions don't match up. He is very closed off about his family and it makes me feel insecure. Should I move on? I thought I could trust him before, but lying by omission has really damaged my trust and I don't know what to think of. And I'm 31 female. So, what do you think about this? I already
So
wrote my comment in the OP thing. So,
honestly, I had a lot of issues with it.
okay.
So she's upset about an already established relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So if that established relationship where she came in was the issue,
Mm-hmm.
then they should not have been together. Because
True.
obviously it's that she trusted. Obviously she did not trust because if that relationship is a gnawing
Thing for her.
suspicion,
Yeah.
jealousy, or
Makes
whatever
her
it is.
insecure. Yeah.
So if you kind of have that insecurity over an established relationship, it doesn't.
It's
Honestly
just
speaking, it
BF.
would not matter whether
Mm-hmm.
he brought her to meet the girl
Mm-hmm.
or not meet the girl. She will
Okay.
find an issue with it or not because that there's an insecurity with him having a relationship with a female,
A woman. Uh huh.
even if it was before her
Yeah.
and from the
20
information over a
years.
20-year
Yeah.
relationship.
Yeah. So I'm in a situation like this. I'm the girl that the main partner does not like. And this is where, and you can read the post, my comments if you find on it. Uh, but this is how I feel about it. He has a right to have his friendship. She also has validation to her feelings. However, if this has been a situation for over a year and you're already feeling insecure about things and stuff, this is something where you have to evaluate should you be with them or not. And this is why I'm saying this. I am the friend of a friend. I've been friends with him for over 30 years, pretty much. And
Can you pause for a minute?
give me 1 second. I need to change something real quick, and I'll be right back, guys.
What's up, Bert?
Come on, let's go really up. Down chilling with the homies that are really go. Got a bad chicken in me. What the going up? Better bring her up. While you looking like a stab. Put you in a car fight. Like, better get the fuck up. But another round, cause you're getting fucked up. I'ma put you in the dirt, cause I ain't gonna find you a damn yuck. Go on, nigga, come on, let's go really up. Yo, come on, let's go really up. I'ma put you in the dirt. Come on, let's go really up. Yo, come on, let's go really up. I'ma hit the jerk. Come on, let's go really up. Yo, come on, let's go really up. I'ma put you in the dirt. Come on, let's go really up. Yo, come on, let's go really up. I'ma hit the jerk. Come on, let's go really up. On the back, cause I just wanna hit the bar. I just wanna be the best. I just wanna get up. I ain't never trusted anybody else with my love. Girl, yeah, 0 to 100, you know I'm better blow. John Cena, you better hide your fucking face. You some motherfucker days. Yo, come on, let's go really up. Down chilling with the homies that are really go. Got a bad chicken in me. What the going up? Better bring her up. While you looking like a stab. Put jerk, cause I ain't gonna find you a bad luck. Go on, make it come a little really hard. Yeah, come on, let's go really hard. I'ma put you in the dirt. Come on, let's go really hard. Yeah, come on, let's go really hard. I'ma hit the jerk. Come on, let's go really hard. Yeah, come on, let's go really hard. I'ma put you in the dirt. Come on, let's go really hard. Yeah, come on, let's go really hard. I'ma hit the jerk. Come on, let's go really hard. With a bang, on go. But yeah, I just wanna hit the bar. I just wanna be the best. I just wanna get off. I ain't never trusted anybody else in my love. Girl, got 0 to 100, you know I'm about to blow. John Cena, you better hide your fucking face. You some motherfucker gays in the yo, come on, let's go really up. Down chillin' with the homies that'll really go. Got a bad chicken in me, what the f going up? Better bring her up, while you looking like a stab. Put you in a car fight, like, better get the f up. But another round, cause you getting f***ed up. I'ma put you in the dirt, cause I ain't gonna find you a bad luck. Go on, make it come a little really hard. Yo, come on, let's go really hard. I'ma put you in the dirt, come on, let's go really hard. Yo, come on, let's go really hard. I'ma hit the jerk, come on, let's go really hard. Yo, come on, let's go really hard. I'ma put you in the dirt, come on, let's go really hard. Yo, come on, let's go really hard. I'ma hit the jerk, come on, let's go really hard. With a bang, on go. But yeah, I just wanna hit the bar. I just wanna be the best. I just wanna get off. I ain't never trusted anybody else in my love. Girl, got 0 to 100, you know I'm about to blow. John Cena, you better hide your fucking face. You some motherfucker gays in the yo, come on, let's go really up. Down chillin' with the homies that'll really go. Got a bad chicken in me, what the f going up? Better bring her up, while you looking like a stab. Put you in a car fight, like, better get the f up. But another round, cause you getting f***ed up. I'ma put you in the dirt, cause I ain't gonna find you a bad luck. Go on, make it come a little really hard. Yeah, come on, let's go really hard. I'ma put you in the dirt, come on, let's go really hard. Yeah, come on, let's go really hard. I'ma hit the jerk, come on, let's go really hard. Yeah, come on, let's go really hard. I'ma put you in the dirt, come on, let's go really hard. Yeah, come on, let's go really hard. I'ma hit the jerk, come on, let's go really hard. With a bang, on go. But yeah, I just wanna hit the bar. I just wanna be the best. I just wanna get off. I ain't never trusted anybody else in my love. Girl, got 0 to 100, you know I'm about to blow. John Cena, you better hide your fucking face. You some motherfucker gays in the yo, come on, let's go really up. Down chillin' with
Sorry about that, guys. Somebody was knocking at our door. I wanted to make sure everybody was safe because there's like winter, so a lot of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
But one second. Just to touch everybody base, we are having a conversation about if a partner that you're with is upset that you're hanging out with an old friend of the opposite gender. It's so
Yeah.
should they have a problem with it? And I want to finish telling my story. So anywho, I am that girl. I am the one who's friends with a friend where their partner does not. We don't see eye to eye, but there's a fucking reason, to be honest. And the reason is because when I was my friend, we were dating at one point, and when we were dating, and this is when we were kids, not kids, we were young adults, just starting out, sowing oats and shit. I guess I don't know, but he was cheating on us, cheating on me with her. Then they stayed in a relationship, and I just became a friend. There's a lot of history between us because of like family stuff and blah blah blah. So I'm not gonna jeopardize that relationship. She doesn't like me, and he fights for me. He's like, "Look, she's my friend. There's nothing happening," and they have issue. Do I feel? And I defend her a lot. I will say that because I don't like the fact that a partner can be like, "Oh, I'm mad that she's mad about it." Shut the fuck up. That's your woman.
Right.
That's your partner. You should always side with them. Don't get me wrong. If they're batshit crazy, then yeah. But like, if she's telling you I'm uncomfortable with something, you should discuss it. But I'm also the type of person too. I'm not going to be friendly with somebody who's been trashing me in a sense.
Right.
I'm not giving you the opportunity. However, I still respect her to a point. I don't say anything like I said. Anytime it's where advice or anything as like from the female friend perspective or the female perspective, I tell them like, look, you're fucking wrong. Your girlfriend's right. Do right by her, regardless of what it is. Do it. That's your woman. If you don't fucking want to be with that, then don't be with them. And that goes for that. If you feel like your friend is bitching at you, your girlfriend is bitching at you about having friends, what would you do? Either discuss it, work it out.
I mean, it should always be a matter of communication.
Communication.
But like in the sense, like with the Reddit post,
hmm
like if they're a year in, I believe,
Yeah.
and now it's becoming an issue because he didn't mention
The
when
last time that he hung out with her.
because he didn't tell her that they were hanging out.
Yeah.
So it's still you knew about the situation. You knew they came in. You
Mm-hmm.
never know what it might have been. Like it might have been last minute or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. But at the offset of the first time, even if he told you that they were going to hang
Mm-hmm.
out, obviously it's an issue.
Yeah.
She didn't want to say it was an issue, but it was an issue.
Yeah. But I
So
also
if it
agree
gets
with
to
her
that
though.
if it's at
Mm-hmm.
that point of insecurity where okay now because he did tell you that they hung out again the last time she was in town, if that's what's making you question the relationship, then y'all shouldn't be together.
Yeah, but also here's the situation too, and I think like I agree with the woman to this point. If I'm feeling insecure and I tell my partner I'm insecure about this, listen to me. Do you have to like go off my crazy screams? No. However, if I say, hey, let me meet her, let me fucking meet her. Maybe
Right, I
that's gonna
do.
help. Maybe that's gonna help me and my sanity and stop overreacting. Right?
Maybe, but
Maybe, but do I feel like it's one of those things like when we're going back to the whole thing, like when you're dating, when you were dating, and the girls are like, oh, I don't like that you're with another woman. You're like, you're living with another woman. And they'll be like, and what do I tell you? Give them my name, give me their number, give me whatever. They could talk to me, they could meet
right,
my ass because there's nothing going on.
right, but that would
So,
be that's on the but that's on the flip side too to that. Like if
yeah.
they do meet, I don't know, maybe she thinks the girl looks better than her. Now you have
Okay.
compounded on that issue. So now it's like, oh well, you want to hang out with her because she's prettier than me. Like it could
Yeah,
have a snowball effect. So pretty
it
much basically, you're fucked if you do and you're fucked if you don't.
well, my thing is if that's the case, then again, that's something that the partner needs to deal with. Right?
Right. Well,
They
that
need to
and
deal with
that's what it goes back to.
and
Like,
evolved on that because it's not like at least you could always say as the partner, I tried. You told me to meet her. That would make you feel better. I did. Now you have another issue. Now you want to be besties with her. Now you're besties with her. Now you're even more insecure. If you cannot rein that in because we are responsible for our own emotions and insecurities at the end of the day.
right,
And if you're with a partner that listens or respects that, then great, we love it. But some people don't. Some people just like, oh, you just got to stop being dramatic. You just have to stop, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, and you're right because I'm responsible. If I'm jealous, that's my responsibility.
right,
But if you're also parading it around and lying and not saying that you're hanging out with her, that's an issue.
right. I
That
get
was
that as
that's a
well.
red flag.
No,
Like,
that was he should have been on top of it, sort of, and told her that yeah, she we're gonna meet up. She's coming back into town. We're gonna hang out and spend the day or whatever. That
exactly.
yeah, that was on his fault.
He fucked up.
So there's issues on both ends, but at the end of the day, the established relationship was the issue from the first day they hung out when he was in a relationship with the girl. It was already an issue.
Exactly. So
So
then
if
you have to evaluate it.
yeah, then it has to be okay. If this is going to be an issue, then okay, we need to
Okay.
figure out what's going on with the relationship.
I don't know. So what do you guys think about that? Like, as the audience, like, what do you feel if you, if your partner, your significant other, and this to the audience, for your significant other is best friends with opposite gender or somebody that just makes you feel insecure, depending on it, right? Because I think there was like another story I heard about being disrespectful, openly disrespectful. Like I always feel like definitely if my partner is connected to somebody, be a family friend or foe, I don't give a fuck. If they're disrespecting your partner, leave them. I'm not giving my if my partner doesn't defend me or take my side
No,
and take care of that, I'm not dealing with it. But I'm
that's an
saying,
obligation on the partner to correct the situation.
yeah.
That's
But some people don't, unfortunately,
right.
and
Well, the
that
ones
you
that
should
don't
be with
know,
them.
then it has to be pointed out. Somebody has to point that out. If your friend, if I have a friend
Hmm.
and they have an issue with my partner
Yeah.
and they're openly talking shit over,
Hmm.
then I have to step in and I have to
Yeah.
correct that because that's
Yeah, you have
as
to
a
put that
partner,
person in their place.
that's okay. This is the situation. If you're not willing to accept that, then you have
Yeah.
to
I remember
back
I
off.
had a situation with one of my exes. It wasn't about me, it was like one of my friends. And their friend was being disrespectful to my friend. And I checked him. I checked the friend, my at the time boyfriend's friend, and I was like, blah 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 blah, eat ass, like shut the fuck up, like shut the fuck up. And I was told I was wrong because whatever. And I said, and I told my boyfriend at the time, I said, you know what's crazy? Why are you okay with the fact that your friends feel so comfortable to do bad things to you that are connected to your girlfriend?
So who was the wait? Who was
So it was my friend, right? Was getting
so
close to one of his friends.
so who's friends?
His friend, his homie, was friends with my homie.
Okay.
Okay, he
So
disrespected her,
your boyfriend's friend,
disrespected my friend,
you disrespected your friend.
and I corrected the guy.
Right.
But
Okay.
then,
So the issue in that matter of fact was the boyfriend was the one who was supposed to correct
exactly,
because you are responsible for the people you bring around.
Exactly, and you know what they told me? You should have known. We all warned you about him. I
No,
said,
it doesn't
first of
matter
all,
if they can warn me about whoever. If
your
like
friend,
even when
yeah,
like I bring people here, like even with my own family members,
yeah,
they want to bring somebody around. I tell them, okay, I have no. Everybody's welcome in my house.
hmm,
If you're bringing somebody, you need to make them aware that, and you need to be aware of you're responsible for the way how they
exactly,
act.
yeah, because I'm not putting up with it.
So if a situation arises, you need to deal with it because if
Mhm.
you don't deal with it, I'm going to deal with it, and then I'm going to deal with you.
Yep. And that was the issue I had because they
That's
told me
it.
like, "Oh, you should have known. We warned you." I was like, "You didn't warn me about shit." Because why is your friend, after confirming with me that he wouldn't do any of the bad things,
Right.
for you to be like, okay, as a friend to do that to his woman? You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
why are you okay disrespecting her and hers?
Yeah.
Because
No.
she was like
That's
my sister. So I was just like, wow, like it's crazy. And he was like, oh, blah 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 blah. It's your fault. I like my fault. I said, guess what? And I still to this day, I was like, if I ever seen that fucking man, I told him, I said, you're lucky I'm dating him. The guy I was dating, and said, you're lucky. I said, because the moment he breaks up with me, I'm coming for you.
yeah.
The moment I'm coming for you.
That
And
was fault on his
yeah,
side because
that's
like it's
fine.
one thing like it's the guy group. Guy groups
Yeah, it's different.
we get stupid.
Yeah, yeah,
But
men are
if it's
stupid.
a guy group thing, and it has to stay in the group.
Yeah, no bro
So
code.
if
Y'all don't got bro
somebody,
code like that.
yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like I don't understand how that situation comes about because if I'm with someone and I'm hanging out with my friends,
Hmm.
I'm not going to allow any of them. If they try to get out of line, I'm not going to let them get out of line.
I know. Just say that.
Like that's where that accountability steps in. If you're not willing to have that kind of accountability in situations like that, then okay, you don't need to bring around those your two worlds.
Yeah, you don't.
Then
Yeah,
you need to keep your friends separate and your relationship separate
yeah.
because anybody that's a friend should already know. Okay, that's
Your
his
partner.
other. You
Yeah,
have to be respectful of that person. If
yeah.
they bring people around, you have to be respectful. If you can't be respectful, you shouldn't be around them.
Exactly. I don't got time.
Like it
I
doesn't
will fight
matter.
everybody.
Like how you were saying, like oh well, we warned you about him. He's like, I don't care what you want. Yeah, I know a lot of crazy motherfuckers, but if I bring them around, they're gonna
Yeah,
be
because to me
respectful.
it showed that he had no respect. Because he lied to me. I told the guy before. I said, "Everybody told me about you. You better not do what I think you're gonna do." He's like, "Nah, nah, nah. I would never do that, sis. I would never do that, sis." What does he do? He fucking lied to me. So not only did you do for me, you disrespected my friend, and guess what? Nobody fucking gets away with do for me, motherfucker.
So
Coming for you, hands. I don't care if I lose either. It's on. But the thing that really got me is the fact that the men knew in the group, and they were just like,
yeah,
"That's what he does." Ha ha
yeah,
ha.
it's a cop
That's
out.
stupid Schmerz, or what's his name? That's Dinkelberg.
Yeah,
Like, no, bitch.
and that's the thing. Like okay, if it's just the guys and it's a group and that's what he's known for doing and that's his role in the group,
And why are you
that's
okay with
fine.
that? But why are you okay with that?
Right, but if that's the group dynamic and he's the goofball or the whatever, okay, fine. But when y'all get around other people,
Consequences.
common sense and accountability. That's all it comes down to.
Yeah. So, Gucci, what do y'all think? Was the girlfriend wrong in this situation? Feeling upset and insecure that he was hanging out with the boyfriend was hanging out with a longtime friend slash ex, I guess. Yeah, they used to date. They
Yeah.
broke up 10 years ago, um, and he still hung out with her, and she feels like she was betrayed because he did not let her know that they hung out the most recent time. So boom, this is the next one. This was kind of interesting. Um, this is another Am I the Asshole in a Relationship? This one is a little background. It's about a married couple going through a separation right now, but this is before the separation. These things were kind of underway, and then now that they're separated, the ex-wife to be, is she's going through emotions, which I kind of understand too. But anywho, This is it. It says, about 5 months back, my wife's engagement diamond fell off. She managed to find it and keep it safe. We went to a jeweler's to get it fixed via insurance, but they were unable to help. Unclear why. We had talked about sending it in or going somewhere else, but haven't gotten around to it. I figured my wife would make it happen and I would pay for the fix. Well, today she brought it up in addition to many reasons why we're now separated, basically saying it was my responsibility. Tell me, am I the asshole? I asked because if it was my ring, I would have done it myself. It's not her fault after all. Okay. So, I'm gonna say my piece in a moment, but what do you feel from that? And there's like this text message situation where she's like, kind of going in and out of emotions, where she's just like, "Yeah, remember you never fixed my ring," and he's like, "Ah, I'm not responsible for that." She's like, "Yeah, but we were together. You should have had it fixed. Like we tried, but you know what? Never mind. Fuck it. Like I don't care anymore." And it's like one of those. As a woman, I don't know if this is for everybody, but I know as a woman, it when we get so angry sometimes and we're trying to articulate and try to really piece together how we feel, we tend to try to not stir a pot, but we do try to get it popping because we want to have that passionate argument so we can finally get it all out. We're forced to do it, which I'm not saying is correct or right in any term, but sometimes it's the method to the madness. Um, this situation, she wasn't insulting him. She wasn't saying anything. She was just like, you know what? I'm really fucked up that you didn't fucking fix my ring. So you got to fix it. And he's like, nah, now we're separated. I ain't doing shit. She's like, but this was happening in a marriage. Why didn't you fix it then? So, boom.
Honestly, I don't even see why this is even an issue. Like we brought this up earlier,
Yeah, we were talking about it.
and pretty much honestly, when they were together, it was his responsibility. Honestly,
Mm-hmm.
because if you give a gift like that, then you're responsible to get it fixed when you're married. If
Mm-hmm.
one partner can't do it, the other partner should do it. So there's a little fault on both sides for not getting it done because it could have
Okay.
gotten done regardless.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he could have got it done. He should have got it done.
Mm-hmm.
Now that they're separated, does he have the responsibility to get it done? I feel he does not. Because if he didn't do it when they were together, he's sure not going to do it when they're apart. If they get back together, it's his responsibility to get it done
Yeah.
because it's that's his responsibility.
So, with that being said, because we had this conversation, I feel that it is his responsibility through the whole situation. This is why. One, they're not divorced or separated. We don't know how long they've been separated, but they've been separated. We don't know if they're even on the road to divorce. They're just separated because apparently there's a lot of shit going on between them to get them to the point where they're separated, right? And in these messages, again, I guess speaking womanese, I don't know, where she's heard about a lot of things that he has not stepped up to the plate for. This is what I'm gauging. It could be a little extra because this stuff was not said, but he must have not been stepping up to a plane to a point where she started just bashing about these things, where she's just like, "I'm upset. You didn't get my ring fixed. That is the symbol of your marriage,
Right.
right?
Well, that's the thing too.
Wait,
Like if she's
let me finish. That's the symbol of your marriage, and you guys apparently went the first time together. Then when it didn't work out, which again, how does insurance not fixing the situation when it's a diamond fallout? I used to work at a jewelry place and I was responsible for repair orders and cleaning, shining, categorizing zones, whatever, stones. So I kind of have an idea of how this process works. And to my understanding, that's not a thing. Because even if they cannot fix it, there is other people to fix it. But the insurance should be able to cover it. I don't know. But that's another thing. But the fact where he says, "Yeah, we went to go get fix it together. So you thought it was okay to fix it the first time, but now you just like, it. What do you say? It's like we just never got a chance to." So you're telling me that the symbol of our marriage doesn't mean nothing to you. The diamond that fell off that could have been lost, even though I found, was not that important to you to get it fixed. Not just because it's a symbol, but also because it's an investment and an expensive piece. You wouldn't do that. And then to the whole thing of like, oh, well, she should have, it's her responsibility. I didn't do it. Yeah, but like, you're also the one that know where the ring was originally purchased at. You're also know what the insurance policy is better. You usually, when you buy an engagement ring, when it has the insurance on it, it goes on to whoever purchased it. So why is that? Why is it not your responsibility? And mind you, it's nothing where he's the only person that has to do it. It's the fact of like you showed no interest
Right.
of getting it done. That would be very insulting in a relationship to me. And I have done that. I've experienced not that exactly, but it was a situation similar where I felt like my partner wasn't showing up the way they needed to. I think I explained this like years ago, where I was in a very long term relationship, and love is blind. And every time it like I'm a big planner, so like for birthday parties, anniversary, something, I try to do something big for my partner, willing if I have the funds and everything. But when it comes to my birthday, magically there's no money. Magically, oh, things happen, which every so often things happen. But it's never, hey, on this date and this time, why don't we celebrate your birthday because we couldn't do it that time.
Right.
It was never that. It was never, oh yeah, by the way, let's start saving money for our next trip. Where I'm still taking charge and making sure we have money to actually spend on the trip. I'm the one doing all the extra
Right.
stuff. It's never a celebration of me or a thing about me. Even when I was engaged, it was a situation because I lost my original engagement ring, which they went ham over. Understandably, too, a big purchase, and it was stolen. I get it, but when I kept telling them that the ring was too big, you wasn't listening to me. And I said, we have to get it fixed. No, we can get it done. We can do it another time. We can do it another time. I don't drive. I don't have the thing. I'm working and going to school more than you.
Right.
So you have more time than I do. So
Right.
take care of it.
Yeah. No, there's fault on both sides.
There's fault on both sides, but
But
also
end of the day, if it didn't get done when they were together, it's certainly not gonna.
I would just sell it. If I'm never going to get back together with them, I'm
Right,
selling it.
and that's the thing, like too, like okay, if because that's one of the factors that's being brought into. Okay, you never did this, or you never did that. Because these are issues that you already have, and that they're ingrained in you, whether you feel that he's not going to show up or not.
Yeah.
More than likely, the separation is going to be permanent, and it's going to lead to a divorce. More than likely.
Yeah.
So, yeah, either pawn it, get rid of it, sell it, but he's not going to fix it. If they do end up back together, absolutely, it's on his responsibility to get it done.
Yeah.
So that's honestly still where you can go to any jeweler. If a diamond falls off, it's not that hard to fix. So I don't understand why that was the issue in not getting it fixed.
No, I agree. I thought that was the stupidest shit ever. I was like, oh, I'm not going to get this fixed. Like, what do you mean?
Like there
What do you mean you're not
had
going
to
to
be a
fix?
reason. I don't even know.
But that's one thing too. Like, I think with that mentality, because there was a lot of people in the group. Well, yeah, even the women, the wives in the situation, like, yeah, like I just fixed my own ring, and I'm like, yeah, you definitely can. I'm definitely saying that. But if there's a reason why she's waiting for you, maybe there's a reason why she's waiting for you, right? Because any
Maybe.
capable adult is gonna figure out I got to do it myself. But if the fact that the ring lost the diamond already and she found that she's making sure everything's safe, why aren't you like, hey babe, let's go fix the ring, let's go out, let's do this? It
Right.
shows that you're not caring about not only the symbolism in the relationship, but you're not caring about the relationship.
Right, but it could have been to like the timing of the relationship as well. If it was already on the downspell halfway out, he could
But then
already have,
why bitch about it? That's what I'm saying though.
right, but that's the thing. Like it's two different perspectives. From the guy's side, he probably
Yeah.
thought, okay, we're I gotta end up separating, so why am I going to spend this money?
Yeah, but here, yeah, but again, if that was a situation, then why would he even bring that up? Because he would just say the reason why I'm not getting it fixed is because we're already on the outs. That again, be transparent. If that's why you never wanted to get it done, say that and then stop being mad you're separated. Stop being like, well, why am I the asshole because I didn't want to do it? You didn't want to. Why wouldn't you want to fix your
Well,
wife's
that's easy.
ring?
That's just them whining because they want to feel like they were right in the situation and they want
Nah.
justification.
I'm pretty sure
That's
I
it.
know what type of person it was, and that's why I don't date him. I cannot.
So
No, thank you. But anyway, this was a good conversation, a good
yeah,
little first episode, little slips and dips. But thank you guys for being patient with us. We are going to be replaying this video this upcoming Saturday with a live episode the following Saturday
yes,
at 8:30.
yes,
8:30 p.m. If anything changes, we're going to try to keep you guys in the loop. Uh, Me, of course, I'm working on several other shows. And of course, also here has his show on Mondays, which I'm going to be in the background. You'll hear me, but it'll be his show um, at 8 o'clock every Monday. Every other Monday alive. Every Monday following that is going to be replay. Um, but that's pretty much it, y'all. I think that's it. Anything
Yep.
you want to say?
No,
I'll turn your
thanks
stuff.
for
Talk about your
staying.
show. Talk about your show before we
Thanks
leave.
for joining us today. Tomorrow I gotta have mine's also talks pod.
What are we
Hopefully you
talking
guys will
about?
tune in for that.
What are you talking about tomorrow?
Huh?
What are you talking about tomorrow?
I have no idea. I
Oh,
will think of something.
we're thinking about something. We don't know if we want to do nerdy or just a recap. It is what it is.
I don't know.
But anyway,
I'll figure it out.
guys. Yeah, that's going to be Mondays.
8
Also
o'clock.
Talks podcast, 8 o'clock. Then you're going to guys see me in a few hours. I'm going to be with Sexually Speaking with the lovely Miss D. We're just going through a recap of our year and how fucking amazing it's been and how much we love you guys. Which our show is going to be every Saturday again. Every other Saturday is going to be a live, and every Saturday between is going to be a replay. That's pretty much for all of our shows. Um, where sexually speaking, where we talk about kinky conversations and lifestyle breakdowns, which is on Sundays at 8:30 p.m. And of course, Nymphs of Lore, which is my spicy book podcast with my lovely co-host Jasmine Lafleur, who is known as the Sweet Jazz, and I'm the Spicy Jazz. And that's going to be every Friday at 7:30. So tune in then, and we'll love to have you guys again. And stay safe, and don't get crazy either.
Huh?
Come on, let's do it up. Down chilling with the homies that are really go. Got a bad chicken in me. What the f going up? Better bring her up. While you looking like a stab. Put you in a car fight. Like, better get the f up.